Well, this is a video I've been wanting to make for a while, showing the transformation over the last 2 or 3 years of prepping for the P&T in the clothes I take. So 3 years ago, I was carrying a considerable amount of clothes, something like 5 or 6 kilos of clothes alone. Probably a third of my pack was clothes. Lots of just-in-case items or alternates if it's raining or sunny or whatever. Over the 3 years, we've not only been training in terms of physically walking, but training in terms of being more confident, taking less stuff, thinking about every item, looking at its weight, what can we sub in that might be lighter, what's essential, what can we actually live without. Here is what I used to carry compared to what I'm carrying now. So this is pretty much the gear list that I had on our last trip, where we were like, hey, this is ridiculous, we're just carrying way too much stuff. And we came back and made a spreadsheet and made a list, and this is what I had in my pack from that trip. So one cactus raincoat, love it, it's long, New Zealand made, New Zealand designed, but 800 grams, it is just too heavy. The reality is with a raincoat is that eventually you get wet. Whatever you wear, whether you wear rain pants, rain jacket, if you're out in the rain for 6 hours, you're going to get wet, and doesn't matter how good the raincoat is, you're still going to get soaking wet, and you just have to accept that. I see so many posts online with people, oh, what's the best raincoat? What's going to keep me dry? Well, if you're out in the rain long enough, you will not stay dry. Puffer jacket, super heavy, super thick. Not one, but 2 fleeces, one for the heart to always keep dry and one to walk in when it's wet. A long-sleeved turtleneck icebreaker merino, another long-sleeve merino for walking in, yet another long-sleeve merino to wear when it's wet, short-sleeve merino to wear don't know when, a long-sleeve shirt, also don't know when I was actually wearing that, and in case it's super sunny, which doesn't happen much in Fiordland, a t-shirt, as well as an icebreaker singlet. Then for walking in, a pair of like just regular leggings that you'd wear for the gym or something, a pair of shorts, again in case it's really sunny, a pair of thermal pants for the hut, a long pair of hiking trousers, not to walk in but also for the hut, another pair of leggings for walking in that could get wet, 2 buffs, one merino and one cotton. These are both cotton because I've lost the merino one. At least 3 pairs of hiking socks. It might have actually been 4. A pair of just regular short socks, probably for the hut. A merino beanie. A bra just for the hut. A sports bra for walking in. And not 1, not 2, not 3, but at least 6 pairs of undies for a 5-day trip. So that is what I used to carry in my pack. Okay, and now we've got the after. So the raincoat has been replaced with a more sensible Patagonia lightweight Gore-Tex number. Puffer has been subbed for a beautiful Arc'teryx super lightweight but super warm puffer jacket. All those hiking clothes that I didn't know what I wore when have now been simplified down to a skirt for when it is really hot. Always wearing a sun hoodie. Our sun is pretty burny in New Zealand, so always covered up, and then I don't need to wear sunscreen, and the hood is a bonus, not just for sun, but I wear it more for sandflies. If it is raining, I would normally just wear a long sleeve merino underneath my raincoat, but I've now decided to sub that for a icebreaker 125 zone knit merino t-shirt, mainly because when you're hiking in the rain, when your arms are up with the poles, the water runs down your arms, it soaks through the sleeves of the thermal underneath and then dribbles down to the torso, and I can get wetter because of that. I'm going to keep the singlet going comfortable, and I usually actually wear it sleeping. When it is colder, switch to a pair of Montane hiking pants with zips in the legs so that I can get them off over my boots. Those 2 fleeces have gone to one Macpac Alpha, super lightweight, super warm as long as you can cut the wind, which I've now got a Montbell wind shirt, again super lightweight, but and the Alpha just cuts the wind like nothing else. Same thing for legs, these ones are enlightened equipment. They look like you're wearing a plastic bag. One pair of thermal leggings. I might sub these for a pair of tights, but I like to in pants. Got a long sleeve cactus merino. I'll stick with 2 buffs, 1 cotton and 1 merino. Just 1 icebreaker merino sports bra. I finally found a cap that I like. I never used to wear a cap, but now I have actually found one that I like. And then socks I've simplified down to 2 pairs of hiking socks to switch out, and I'm just wearing a Ninjas these days. I've gone away from the liners, gone away from thermal socks. They actually get too hot. Toe socks are really good for stopping rubbing between your toes. And then 1 pair of socks keep dry and in the tent at night. But instead of little short ones, I'm going to take long smart wool socks that could be used for hiking, but also long enough to sort of pull up and seal to keep bugs out. And instead of umpteen pairs of underpants, 3 icebreaker merino, dry really quickly, so you can wash one, wear one in the pack, might even go down to 2. And that's it. Probably, in fact, there's a few things that are on the maybe list for the P&T. 5 weeks to go. This is what's made the cut. So there is the transformation from a pack with so many clothes, half of which I never actually used and just brought home, or they got wet and then I carried them wet, so I had the water as well as the clothes, down to absolutely essentials. Everything pretty much gets used. That's what I took on the Larapinta, what we used for 14 days, wasn't cold, didn't miss anything. So what have we really learned about gear? Well, I think it's highly personal. People can recommend stuff and stuff they found lasts, but it really comes down to how much money have you got, because there's some amazing gear if you're prepared to spend or able to spend a lot of money. And personal, like what suits you. Probably tailoring our gear a lot more specifically to what we're doing, what the weather's supposed to do, the terrain, are we camping, are we in a hut, etc. One of the biggest unknowns for us is that we're so used to New Zealand. We get a lot of rain, weather's very, very changeable because of what comes across the ocean. Even in summer can be really cold and wet, so we're used to taking gear that reflects that. So a continental climate like the P&T is quite an unknown for us, so I suspect we will probably ditch some things along the way as we realise that we don't use it, or we send it ahead for when we get to Olympic, which is probably a little bit more like New Zealand's climate, a lot wetter. By then it will be getting colder because we're getting close to autumn. 5 weeks to go, and then we're hitting Glacier National Park and starting the P&T. Our official start date on the actual P&D is the 4th of July, which is quite an auspicious day to start a long distance USA hike.